LSU wins again, but should they be worried? Regan Beers continues to dominate at Michigan, and Silas Swords wasn't just a one-off. Day 5 of women's college basketball starts now.
Quita Loves Sports. It is in the name.
And we start with number 7, LSU, who destroyed Northwestern State 95-36. Now, Northwestern State isn't really a good team at all, so of course, LSU is going to dominate. Flau'jae Johnson continues to show us her full bag of tricks, from three-pointers to mid-range to finishing at the basket. She can kind of do a little bit of everything. She finished the game with 24 points. Also, Michaela Williams went on a stretch where she was not missing early in the game. She ultimately finished the game with 16 points and 4 steals. So LSU, they did what they were supposed to do. They won the game. But while I was watching this game on ESPN+, I realized something. LSU's bigs are kind of non-existent. And the guards are basically doing everything. When you look at the score sheet, when you look at just watching the game and just seeing who's the most impactful players, it's the guards. And let me kind of give you an example. Samaya Smith was the starting center for the game. All right, she didn't play that much in this game, but she ultimately did finish with 9 points, 6 rebounds, 2 blocks. Okay, Anissa Morrow, the starting 4, finished with 11 points, 5 rebounds. Junior transfer Jersey Waffenbarger, she finished the game. She came off the bench, brought in a lot of height with standing at 6'5", comes in, has 4 points, 3 rebounds. And Aaliyah Del Rosario had 7 points, 6 rebounds. Okay, so that is your core post players right there. That's your post players. 4 of them, and that's what they did. So combined for the post, you have a total of 31 points in this game. 31 points in this game from the post, and then 20 rebounds of LSU's 50 rebounds for post players. And then you had 5'10" Flau'jae Johnson leading the team in rebounds with 7. So right now, not a problem, not a big deal. But this is a definite sea change from where we have seen the last 2 years of LSU basketball, especially even if you just compare it to last year, right? LSU played Northwestern State last year. In that game, Angel Reese, she had 25 points, 14 rebounds. Anissa Morrow had 16 points, 14 rebounds. My point is, the point that I'm trying to make is that LSU has changed from being a post-dominant team to a guard-dominant team. And that's not an issue. That doesn't have to be an issue, I would say. And it's possible to go far in the tournament without having a dominant post play, which, I mean, just look at Iowa and look what they did. They just basically ran the whole thing from the guards. And so it's possible for this to be just fine for LSU. But also, there's a concern that I think LSU fans might have, because LSU isn't playing anybody. Once again, we have a very weak schedule. I would say probably even weaker than last year, maybe. And there is no one that can really challenge LSU until they get into SEC play. And so while it may be that this guard-centered offense is just fine for LSU, we won't be able to know with these cupcake games. I think that's the tough part, right? I don't know how they dominate in the SEC with similar production that we saw yesterday from the post. Like, Anissa Morrow needs to be getting, 10 plus rebounds a game. Same thing with Samaya Smith. The idea that Flau'jae Johnson is leading the team in rebounds is ridiculous, actually. Yeah, Flau'jae Johnson's great, but you have post players who should be doing that and more, should be getting 7 rebounds and more. And yes, I know that you played an easy team, but still, there's something to that I'm just ugh. When I was watching, I was like, man, fantastic for the guards. The guards are great, but I'm like, post players, come on. And maybe it's because I have more of an affinity to post players than guards, but like, I don't know. I'm curious to hear what y'all have to think about that. To me, it's very, very clear that Angel seemed to really be a critical factor for the team. Of course, not just her leadership, not just her point score, not just her rebounding, but the way she influenced everybody else, right? Because it was Angel and Anissa killing the game with rebounding for the entire NCAA. And now you still have Anissa, you don't have Angel, and Anissa isn't getting like the same sort of rebounding intensity. Like it's clear that Angel Reese was huge. And like, yes, Flaugie Johnson is the new leader for this team. That girl is a baller, but they do need more aggression in the post. That's my opinion. But I'm curious to hear what y'all have to say. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. All right, the first real test that LSU will face will be at the beginning of January when they kick off SEC play. So for the remainder of November and December, they won't really play anybody. They'll destroy all these teams. We'll see crazy numbers and whatnot, but at the end of the day, we won't really know what this LSU team can do until January, which is not great at all. All right, next up, we got number 10, Oklahoma, who took down unranked Virginia 95-51. It is clear that Oklahoma has now turned into the Regan Beers show, and I am not mad at it at all. She finished the game with 26 points, 14 rebounds, playing only 22 minutes. You got that combined with Oklahoma swarming defense at time, leading to 21 turnovers for Virginia. And you end up having this team, crash the boards at a high rate. Virginia, they shot terribly from the field. So with all of that combined, Oklahoma easily gets the dub. But going forward, they should cruise until they hit their first real test on December the 4th when they play against Louisville. All right, guys, upset alert. Number 21 and mid-major darling Creighton lost to South Dakota State 71-76. Now, y'all, South Dakota State is no slouch at all. Last year, the only games they really lost were against ranked teams for South Dakota State. They're really, really a high-quality team, even though they are not ranked. They also gave Utah a run for their money in the NCAA tournament last year before ultimately losing the game. So I am not surprised at all by this win by South Dakota State. For the Jackrabbits, it was a tale of two halves. In the first half, they were pretty evenly matched with Creighton. And at the top, in the second half, the Jackrabbits, they turned it up a notch. And the catalyst for that was 6'2" junior Brooklyn Meyer, who ended up going on a personal 7-0 run in the third quarter, really opening up the game for South Dakota State. She ultimately finished the game with 17 points and 6 rebounds. Also, guys, it was kind of over from there. Jackrabbits end up outscoring the Blue Jays in the third and fourth quarter to ultimately win the game. South Dakota State does play Duke on November the 17th. So I really do think that is a game that probably should be on y'all radar. I like the Jackrabbits mainly because their name is Jackrabbits. I think it's a fun mascot name. Very, very fun for South Dakota State. So again, they do play Duke coming up soon. So make sure to mark your calendars to watch that game. Or if you don't, I will just recap it the next day for you here. All right, number 17 in Louisville took down Southern Indiana 75-51, and the first quarter, it was neck and neck. It was a neck and neck battle, 22-21 at the end of the first, until Jeff Walls really lit into his team. They cranked up the defense, holding Southern Indiana to only scoring 4 points in the second quarter, and it was over from there. The Cardinals was led by Olivia Cochran, who finished the game with 15 points and 6 rebounds. The next big test for Louisville comes against Kentucky on November the 16th. In other news, Michigan took down Lehigh 86-55, and Silas Swords continues to do her thing. She finished the game with 20 points and 6 rebounds. Also, she added in 5 assists for her squad. Auburn cracks the century mark against Virginia Lynchburg, winning 128-38, with Gaston scoring a super efficient 36 points, and grabbing 11 boards. So that is your look. That is your quick look at day 5 of women's college basketball. Make sure to tell a neighbor, tell a friend that Quita Loves Sports is on the internet talking about some women's hoops every single day. If y'all could do me a huge favor and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, that really does help the channel out a whole lot. And we are trying to grow this thing. The goal really for these daily videos is to eventually get to around 15,000 views daily, just to sort of, that's the goal I have. I don't know if I'll reach that. I don't know. But if y'all can help me out by watching these videos, it really does help the channel. And it just keeps you informed about what's happening. Literally every single day, y'all can expect this video as early as I possibly can. And so, yeah, watch out for it. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for y'all support. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, tell a neighbor, tell a friend. And until next time, guys, bye-bye.